Something ended, or so I thought. But suddenly, the girl I believed had become a thing of the past returns to my life. Why? Is it love, regret, or perhaps something deeper and more mysterious? In this video, we will dive into the depths of the human soul and uncover the secrets that might lie behind this decision. Through the lens of Stoic philosophy, we will understand why the girl returns after a breakup, and how this return can be more than just a fleeting moment. It can be a life lesson in balance. Get ready to discover the truth. If you find answers in this video that resonate with your mind and soul, hit the like button and prove your presence in the comments by writing, "I am the king of Stoicism," because wisdom begins with a step, and that step could be now. Let's begin. The first reason: curiosity and change. After a breakup, something unexpected happens. The person the girl left begins to transform. Perhaps they become calmer, stronger, and more capable of controlling their emotions. The breakup becomes the spark that ignites a new energy within them. Here, Stoic philosophy emerges as the silent hero, guiding them towards psychological balance and mental clarity. Their life becomes less chaotic and more disciplined. They focus on self-improvement, their goals, and building a new world that doesn't depend on her presence. From afar, the girl begins to notice these changes, whether through social media or mutual circles. Curiosity ignites within her like a fire. Who is this man who seems to have flourished after I left? How did he manage to change like this? Could I have been a part of this new version of him? Here lies the attraction. That new version of you, which no longer needs her to feel complete, becomes an unexpected pull. But it's not just an improved version. It's a version that understands life deeply, respects pain but doesn't break in front of it. And that's what makes her return. Not necessarily out of love, but out of a desire to understand this transformation she has witnessed. The drama lies in the paradox. What attracted her to you after the breakup is exactly what she thought she would lose by leaving: your strength and self-belief. The second reason: regret and reevaluating the relationship. After a breakup, the girl goes through a phase of deep reflection, and conflicting feelings of regret and nostalgia may arise within her. Memories begin to creep into her mind. The beautiful moments she shared with you, the times she felt safe and happy by your side. But what makes it more dramatic is that she begins to see things from a different perspective. Suddenly, the mistakes she made in the relationship no longer seem small, and the spaces you filled in her life become clear gaps. Regret isn't always obvious or direct. Sometimes it appears as a quiet inner voice asking her, "Was I wrong? Could I have done more? Was I blind to his true value?" These questions become a burden on her shoulders, pushing her to reevaluate the relationship. Over time, she realizes something important. Perhaps the problem wasn't with you, but with her appreciation of you. Here, the influence of Stoic philosophy becomes indirectly apparent. When you appear before her as a balanced, unshaken man, living your life with confidence and clarity, her feelings of regret intensify. What stirs these feelings the most is that you didn't act like others. You didn't chase her or beg her to return. Instead, you moved on with your life as if nothing had defeated you. This composed stance confronts her with a new truth. She lost a rare man. This feeling may drive her to return, not just to correct a past mistake, but because she realizes that your presence was more important than she had thought. This admission, for her, may be difficult, but it creates a strong desire within her to reclaim what she lost before it's too late. The third reason: the search for emotional security. After a breakup, the girl may begin to face a new reality. The outside world doesn't provide the security she felt with you. Perhaps she entered other relationships or tried to build her life independently, but she realized that she had lost something special: the feeling of containment and reassurance you provided her. Often, a breakup reveals a person's internal fragility. She may find herself surrounded by people who don't possess the same depth or commitment you showed. The new people may be superficial or unable to offer her the same level of understanding you provided. At that point, she begins to compare everything: your words, actions, and even your silence, with what she faces now. But what makes the return more intriguing is that you are no longer the person she once knew. You are now stronger, more balanced, and more capable of controlling your emotions. Meanwhile, on the other side, she feels internal turmoil, searching for a refuge that can restore her sense of stability. Stoicism plays a decisive role here. Your calmness and steadiness, even after the breakup, send a silent but powerful message. I am not affected by pain, and I don't need anything to feel complete. This attracts her instinctively because humans tend to seek security in strong individuals who can face crises without breaking. In a moment of honesty with herself, she may realize that she hasn't found this security anywhere else. With every step she takes toward you, she seeks to regain that feeling of comfort and trust she didn't find with others. Perhaps more importantly, she realizes that this security isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's a reflection of your true strength, the strength that makes her want to be close to you again. The fourth reason, the fear of losing you forever. Over time after the breakup, the girl may begin to grasp the idea that your life continues without her and that you are moving forward with strength and balance. This realization sparks a deep fear within her, making her wonder, what if I become just a part of his past forever? What if he finds someone else who appreciates him more than I did? Stoicism plays an influential role here, as your behavior as a man who doesn't cling to the past or chase those who leave you becomes evident. Instead, you build yourself, live your life with clear goals, and leave an impact that makes her realize you are not like other men. This combination of psychological stability and success stirs her fears of having lost an irreplaceable opportunity. But things take a more dramatic turn when she begins to see signs that you are moving in a new direction. Perhaps pictures on social media showing your successes or happiness, or hearing about your achievements from mutual friends. All of this reinforces her feeling that she is losing something that could have been hers, but she didn't realize its value until it was too late. The fear of loss isn't just about losing you, it's about losing the opportunity you represented. The opportunity to feel true love, support, and to be with someone who balances strength and understanding. This fear transforms over time into a sense of urgency. What if he has completely moved on? What if I no longer have a place in his life? With every step you take forward in your life, and with every success or positive change you achieve, this fear grows within her. But what makes it more complicated is that you don't try to bring her back. You don't seek her out or remind her of what you once had. This apparent indifference raises deep questions within her. Do I need him more than he needs me now? In the end, the fear of losing you forever may drive her to return. Her return isn't just an attempt to rebuild the relationship. It's an attempt to regain her feeling that she can still be a part of your life and that you haven't closed the doors completely. It's a moment where she admits that you weren't just someone who passed through her life. You were someone irreplaceable. The fifth reason, emotional emptiness and nostalgia for the past. After a breakup, the girl may find herself drowning in a state of emotional emptiness. The relationship she thought would fill this void didn't meet her expectations, and the new connections seem superficial or temporary compared to what she had with you. The past begins to call her back in unexpected ways. Memories of simple moments, long conversations at night, shared laughter, and even the arguments that carried depth return to fill the void. But these aren't just fleeting memories. They become a mirror reflecting the difference between what she had with you and what she faces now. She feels she has lost something genuine, something that can't easily be replicated. Stoic philosophy enhances this effect indirectly. When you continue your life with stability and calmness without trying to grab her attention or chase her, she begins to notice the difference between you and others. She sees that you weren't someone who relied on the relationship to prove your worth. You added value to the relationship from your own self-worth. This nostalgia for the past doesn't just come from missing the beautiful moments. It comes from the feeling that she has lost a rare man, someone who understood the meaning of commitment and depth in relationships. With each day that passes without her, this nostalgia becomes clearer, and over time it transforms into a strong inner feeling that drives her to return. But she doesn't return just to rebuild the relationship. She returns because she wants to fill the void you left in her life, a void that no one else can fill in the same way. What you shared was more than just a relationship. It was a genuine connection she felt deeply, even if she didn't admit it at the time. The sixth reason: the need for control and self-validation. The narcissistic woman. After a breakup, the narcissistic woman may find herself facing an unexpected challenge: the loss of control. For her, relationships are a means to prove her superiority and showcase her power over others. The breakup here doesn't just mean the end of the relationship. It's the beginning of questions about her self-worth. Was I able to maintain control? Did he have the influence that threatens my existence? When she sees you continuing your life without her in silence and stability, it fills her with anxiety. She is no longer the center of your attention and no longer holds the influence she felt she controlled. The narcissistic woman may not admit to the feelings of weakness that overcome her, but internally she feels a desperate need to reassert her strength. This need for control manifests in every moment. As soon as she feels that you have started building an independent and more successful life, fear begins to creep in. Have I lost part of my power over him? Has he become indifferent? At that point, feelings of competition rise, not just with you, but also with herself. A narcissist cannot bear the idea that they are not the center of the universe and that someone else can move forward without needing them. What makes it more dramatic is that narcissism makes her return take the form of reclaiming control rather than an attempt at an emotional reconciliation. She returns to remind you of her existence, to stir feelings of insecurity within you, or to draw your attention back to her once again, even if it's through psychological games. Through her return, she tries to rebalance the power dynamics in the relationship, attempting to prove that she was right and that you were, in the end, under her control. But what makes things more intriguing is that, through the application of Stoic principles, you remain steadfast in the face of these maneuvers. You don't engage in her game. You don't chase her or respond to her schemes. This stability makes her feel that she might lose you forever, and that she may have lost the chance to control you indefinitely. When she finds that her attempts to impose control over your life no longer affect you, she feels compelled to return. Not out of love, but to prove that she can still be the central figure in your life. The seventh reason: the search for self-worth validation. The narcissistic woman. When the narcissistic woman distances herself from you, she may initially feel that she has won the battle, that she has imposed her will and decided the outcome. But over time, a deep fear begins to creep in. The fear of losing control over her ability to attract attention. The breakup in this case isn't just the end of a relationship. It's a threat to the foundation of her identity. The idea she lives by is that her self-worth is measured by others' appreciation of her, and more importantly, by how much they are affected by her absence. When she sees you overcoming the breakup easily, not only by moving on with your life in silence, but also by succeeding in building a better version of yourself, this confusion becomes more apparent to her. Did I really have the influence over him that I thought I did? This question becomes an obsession, and the feeling of emotional emptiness pushes her to return. Not out of love or a desire to correct mistakes, but to reassert herself in your life. Narcissists, especially those with underlying emotional fragility, cannot bear the idea of becoming unimportant or unable to influence the people who once held value to them. Therefore, when she returns, her return isn't necessarily tied to the relationship itself, but is driven by an exaggerated need to reclaim emotional power. Her return will be laden with a desire to show you, and herself, that she can still attract your attention and influence you. She may even try to provoke feelings of jealousy in you or reinitiate the game. For her, the return isn't an attempt to return to a healthy relationship, but a return to emotionally occupying her place in your life. She is, in the end, seeking confirmation that she is still the center of attention and the center of the universe, as she once felt. What makes this scenario more complicated is that this type of return isn't always clear. It may initially seem like a casual conversation or a simple, "Why don't we talk again?" But the real intention behind the return is to get a reaction from you that reaffirms her position. Her return can be laden with emotional deception. Can I make him see me as he once did? Can I grab his attention again? The more you remain steadfast and unaffected by her attempts to provoke you, the more her attempts to return increase because she sees that you have become more than just someone she could control. This change, this apparent indifference, becomes the greatest challenge to her narcissism and makes her return to assert herself in your life. Not out of love, but out of a desire to understand this transformation she has witnessed. The 8th reason: regret and reevaluating the relationship. The narcissistic woman. Regret doesn't always appear clearly at first, but it creeps in over time as she begins to notice the changes in your life. She doesn't want to admit it openly, but she can't ignore the truth. Perhaps I lost something I didn't fully appreciate. Narcissists hate the idea of loss, but more importantly, they hate the idea of regretting the loss of something they could have kept. This fear of regret drives her to return, not out of love, but out of an attempt to regain control of the situation. She returns to reassure herself that she was always right, and that, in the end, you will still need her. Deep down, she may realize she was wrong, but she won't admit it directly. In the end, her return isn't just a desire to return to a relationship, it's a desire to close the open loop that bothers her. She needs to reassure herself that you won't find someone better, and that you won't be able to move forward easily without her. But she remains in a state of internal conflict because the idea that she may have made a mistake by pushing you out of her life makes her feel weak. The 9th reason: emotional manipulation and the search for personal victory. The narcissistic woman. The narcissistic woman may return after a breakup out of a strong need for emotional manipulation. For her, the relationship isn't just a means to fulfill emotional needs, it's also a battlefield where she must emerge victorious. The breakup, for her, may just be a turning point in the game of manipulation, where she feels she has lost control for a while, but now there's an opportunity to rearrange things in her favor. Upon her return, she may seek to provoke feelings of guilt in you or make you feel regret over the breakup. Were you really ready for this decision? Maybe one of the questions she poses to you in an attempt to recreate situations that convince you she was always right. She isn't seeking the truth. She's striving for an emotional victory, and this victory is embodied in her ability to control your feelings and will. Narcissism relies on psychological and emotional strength to assert control, and upon her return, things become more dramatic because she tries to impose her dominance once again. She may use various tactics, such as showing weakness, blaming you, or even displaying exaggerated regret just to draw you back into her game. All these attempts are nothing but attempts to achieve a new personal victory in the relationship, where she emerges as the winner, whether by reclaiming your love or by making you feel excessively dependent on her. What makes the return intriguing is that these emotional dynamics aren't visible at first. Her attempts may seem like a sincere effort to fix things, but the truth is that she is only trying to prove her ability to control you emotionally. This return isn't about true love. It's about reasserting her dominance over your life to remind you that, in the end, you are under her control, even after everything you've been through. The 10th reason: the desire for renewed excitement and drama. The narcissistic woman. The 10th reason: the desire for renewed excitement and drama. The narcissistic woman. The narcissistic woman may return after a breakup due to a strong need for the excitement and drama she found in the relationship. For her, relationships aren't always about a stable emotional routine. They are a source of challenges, puzzles, and intense situations that feed her ego. After a period of separation, she may feel the need to return to those emotionally charged moments, the moments where she maintained control and moved things as she pleased. Through this return, she isn't just seeking emotional connection, she's seeking to renew the emotional tension that makes her feel she is still important. Narcissists often grow bored with stability and seek the excitement that fulfills their psychological needs. The relationship with you may have previously been filled with challenges, emotional conflicts, or times where personal boundaries were tested, and these dynamics may have ignited a sense of excitement within her. For her, drama is a source of emotional rejuvenation. Even if her return means entering a whirlwind of arguments or disagreements again, she doesn't see it as negative. It's an opportunity to regain the sense of life that characterized her relationship with you in the past. The return doesn't represent an attempt to fix things or build a healthy relationship. It's a reclaiming of the dramatic tension that makes her feel in control, in charge, and validated. The more this satisfies her need for self-affirmation, the more it makes her feel alive and that her life isn't boring or devoid of emotional stimuli. In these moments, you may notice her manipulating your feelings, creating new situations, or provoking arguments just to reignite that emotional spark. This type of return isn't about stability or comfort. It's about recreating the sense of competition and drama that made the relationship unique for her. In the end, returning after a breakup is a complex game, especially when it involves a narcissistic person. The reasons driving her to return may vary, but they are often tied to control, self-worth validation, or even the need for excitement and emotional manipulation. What makes this return intriguing is that the motives behind it are often distorted. Love or a healthy relationship isn't the primary goal, but rather an attempt to reassert control over emotions or the situation. If you are in a relationship with a narcissistic person, it's important to remember that you are not just a piece in an emotional game. The emotional stability you build in your life, according to Stoic principles, can be your strongest weapon. When you remain steadfast in the face of these emotional attempts, you affirm to yourself and to her that you don't need excitement or drama to be content. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button and write in the comments, "I am the king of Stoicism." The person who doesn't let the drama of the past affect their future life.